Hello, this is Editing Misha here with Bark Meow. Just wanted to throw in a quick note that this episode was originally supposed to release on June 30th. However, it is now not June 30th. This episode is now being released on July 7th, which means we make references to it being the last day of Pride and everything, but that's just because we're off by a week. So yeah, just wanted to throw that in there. Some of the days are going to be off that we talk about, but yeah, other than that, enjoy the show. Woo! We are starting to record. Dude, start streaming and start recording. Those buttons are right next. They're right next to each other, man. One of these days. Hello, everybody. This is Bark Meow. I'm Misha B. Barkin, and I'm here with my friends Solus and Ruby. There they are. Yeah, we're still figuring out introductions, but this week we're going to talk about Pride because today is the last day of Pride Month. It feels weird saying that considering we're like recording ahead of time.
It's not even halfway.
Yeah,
it's like
we're gonna talk about gay shit.
We're gonna talk about gay shit.
We're talking about queer shit.
Ayo. But yeah, so we're just gonna go over what Pride means to us and how we figured out that we were part of what do they call it? The Alphabet Mafia.
Oh, I love that,
dude. Okay, right?
Wait, I have a question for you guys. I have a question because I just thought of it.
What's up?
So, how do you feel about when people use gay? I once saw a post. It was called me the fuck out. It was like lesbians who just call themselves gay instead of lesbians. Fucking hold a sign above your head. Like, how do you feel when people say gay and they mean queer, but they're just saying gay? They're just using gay.
That's fine with me.
Like synonymous with queer. My whole thing when it comes to that kind of stuff, it's very simple. Labels are labels. I'm really like bad with labels myself. I've questioned my sexuality for a long time and like didn't know where I fit. I just kind of settled on I kind of like what makes me happy. And the same thing with like using gay or queer or any term like that. I think it's all about intent. If you're using it derogatory, you're trying to attack somebody. That person doesn't necessarily have to become offended by it, especially because if I'm like, hey, Ruby, you're gay, you'd be like, yes, queen. Like, that's fine. That's totally fine, right? But I'm still going to say that person's an asshole for using it derogatory.
Yeah.
And as a slur, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it does depend, like, who it is or where it comes from. If people use gay to just, like, describe themselves and they're, lesbian or any other part of the community, like, that's fine by me. I've always pictured it as like the umbrella term of LGBT. Like, it's easier to just leave it at I'm gay, especially with people who like might not know non-binary. Well, non-binary is a gender, but like, they might not know all of these extra terms and these extra sexualities that we have. It's easier to just leave it at I'm gay sometimes. Cause like, I've come to the realization that like my romantic attraction and my, I guess, sexual attraction, like, two different things. Romantically, I'm gay, but like, doing stuff, I'm more open to people of all genders, if that makes sense. Yeah. So it's easier just to slap the word gay and call it a day.
Yeah.
Like that one meme, I was looking for it because I was going to put it in the chat, but like where it's like the two philosophers talking and it's like me discussing queer identities with other queer people and then me discussing queer identities with cis straight people, and it's like the mom like with the blocks and the baby. I can't find it. I was looking for it right now.
I understand what you're saying because I think that goes right with what Misha was saying. It's just like a lot of times for a lot of people that you come across, it's probably not they're not genuine anyways. It is easier just to say I'm queer or I'm gay.
See, queer is interesting to me because when I was growing up, nobody used queer. In fact, queer was more derogatory. People used the F slur. I won't say it just in case any of our viewers are offended.
Yeah.
In fact, they would say fur F slur a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Talk about cringy terms. So that's on the normies.
But even if it is on the normies, same with the F slur. It's something that I feel like a lot of furries reclaimed.
Yeah.
Like the first time I ever heard the F slur, it was I was like 19 and I was a party and it was a a guy, and he was like, "I am a flaming F slur."
Wait,
Um,
quick. Like, I want to make sure. The first time you ever heard it, or like first time you heard it like reclaimed?
I grew up in a redneck place, so yeah, first time I ever heard it.
Oh
Like
wow.
Oh, really? Because that was like constant, like toxic masculinity. We slung that slur at each other if we wanted to fight.
Yeah.
Like
No,
if I
I
didn't
heard gay
like
a lot.
somebody,
I heard like that's gay as an insult a lot,
gay,
but
gay, and F slur were like the go-to if you wanted to insult somebody you didn't like or somebody you were fighting with, and
oh, you know what? Now
that
that I
could
think
straight up
about it,
cause a fight.
now that I was thinking about it, they did use the F slur when I was in high school. So I guess this
90s
was the
really
first
did that.
Oh,
time.
okay.
Wolf.
Yeah. So this was the first time I heard it from a queer person, and just remember like bristling just a little bit, and then it was fine, and I was like, "Oh, okay." But nobody said queer because queer was definitely an insult. And
Oh,
now it's my favorite word to identify, but it's interesting how those two kind of switched places.
Yeah.
that is very interesting. Because I was gonna say, like, honestly, I don't know if queer was too big of a word for my my community, but it was just straight up like gay or the F slur.
Yeah. Like I don't use queer very often, especially not to describe myself, you know. It's still a word I don't use. Like I don't think it's like a bad word, but like
No.
it's not my go-to word, you know. Like
Yeah.
whenever I'm making videos, I'll be like, "Oh, the LGBT community or LGBTQ or however many letters I choose to put on it that week." We're never stopping at LGB, but like
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Always
yeah.
include the T.
There's always the T. And so my friend Miles and I were watching my video one time and they were like, "You can just say queer." And I
That's
was
why I
like,
like queer,
yeah,
yeah.
it's so
I was
much
gonna say,
easier, but I was like, I think I prefer just saying the letters, you know? Queer's just not something that I prefer saying.
I love how umbrella queer is. I think it's way
yeah,
faster
Yeah.
to for even like normies to digest
yeah,
than
Yeah, that I'll agree
right,
with.
right. Because if you
and
say gay, it's like, well, do you like just men, or are you trying to use gay as like, oh, I'm gay as, and I'm like, oh, I'm just a part of that community. Uh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas queer, yeah, I think
the
throughout
queer
history.
flag is fucking ballin'. That's
Oh
like
yeah.
one of the best flags, so I like that flag.
Which one is?
The here I'll put it in our chat.
Okay.
Uh
I've
Yeah.
that's what
probably seen it, but
Oh, is
that
this
is.
episode gonna have a bunch of flags behind us?
hey
Oh,
yo.
absolutely.
Let's go.
All
Oh,
right, this
buddy.
is the queer flag. Objectively, one of the better flags in my
Oh, okay.
opinion.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Are the black stripes like part of it or is that just the image?
Yeah, the black stripes are part of it.
Oh, okay.
That's the outline.
Got
Okay.
it. Okay.
I honestly would like also count this as a queer flag because it's an umbrella flag. You know the this one, but
Oh
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I don't think it's called that. I think it's called the progressive flag.
This is the progressive flag, I think.
Yeah.
Or
I use the blue flag.
well,
The
because and the reason why this is progressive because it's not about sexuality when it includes race, right? It's an all-encompassing kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's literally basically just like any sort of like group that has been discriminated against at some
Yeah.
There's
point.
a new one apparently called the ultra pride flag, and
Okay.
Oh,
See,
I am so afraid what's inside this one.
we gotta we gotta
I'm
slow down a
actually
little bit.
so I'm actually intimidated by this, and the
It's
image
too busy.
that Google gave me, it's obviously like an AI generated one of
Oh
those
Oh no.
like
no.
trying to sell it to you. Like, look at this is called the ultra flag.
Oh god.
Okay, see,
Too busy.
we've crossed a line. Yeah, I feel like eventually the flag gets a little too busy.
I love
Look,
how the
and
communist flag is in there.
Oh my god, is
yeah.
it?
Look, the deeper
Oh, I
you look
see
at
it.
it,
Yeah, no, there's so much inside of that. I think
Jesus.
uh,
the way I look at that, and I guess that's kind of an interesting question that I guess we probably don't have an answer for, but I guess at what point is it again, kind of like you said, like how many letters and stuff
oh
do you
my
add to
god, there are
LGBTQ
reviews.
plus? Oh
There
no.
and everybody this has to be satire. Oh
It
my
has to be.
god.
It has to be satire.
No, there's so much. I'm oh my god.
All right, what were you saying,
Oh.
Solus? About question that might not have the answer or something like
Oh.
that?
oh, at what point does things get too busy, or we're trying to see, we're always going to be inclusive, right? That's the whole point.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
at what point do you just cut it off and to say this is the umbrella term that goes for everything? Like because I get it that like you want to have be like represented, right? I get that, because is it fair to cut off certain sexuality in the quote unquote alphabet mafia, or is it? And that's why it's like maybe you just start throwing in your own letter when you refer to it, and then you just say plus at the end, like LGBT, and then whatever you are if you're not a part of just LGBT, and then plus. Like maybe that's a good way to go about it, but just like this flag, there's too much going on. It's too busy.
Yeah.
At some point in a image and a word represent or in like an acronym representation, you can't just keep going forever, right?
Yeah.
So
Here's
I
how
wonder like kind of what that thought would be.
I see it as eventually the pride flag. One, we won't need it because it'll just be a thing that we
I
all
agree.
universally accept. But until then, like it's just gonna be the hold on, here we go. Here is the perfect pride flag.
Have you guys
There it
seen
is.
the have you have you guys seen the video? It was the Mr. Incredibles, and it was like making new pride flags, and it was the scene where it was like the superheroes were like either killed by the robots or the robots killed the superheroes. And eventually it ended up being, I think it was like the state of Wyoming as like the perfect
I
progressive
have seen
flag.
that. That was
That's so
actually
fucking
so
funny.
funny.
That was
That was
great.
so funny. I truly believe that both gender and sexuality is a spectrum.
Yes.
And once we get over all of the rhetoric, once we get over all that, and it'll be a while, then it's just something that we won't even have to discuss, and that'll be great and cool.
Can't wait
Also,
to be 85.
here's my election. We're not going to be alive for that. Here's
Yeah.
my election for the newest pride flag. This is my pride flag. This is how I identify.
So I thought this was really funny. When you said I'll tell you about the perfect pride flag, and right before you sent the first image, my head just goes post an American flag and just go America.
Ba, ba,
Oh my
ba,
god.
ba,
No.
ba, ba.
Did you see that? Did you see that one post of the
I know
poor you don't
exact. Wait, no, go on. I
okay.
might not know.
Hold on, let me try and find it.
Was
My
it
sexuality is patriotism.
my pronouns are USA?
Oh God! Also, this image being the TV.
Oh, I don't know
the
how I'll
channel
find
missing.
it. Dang
Great.
it.
Was it the? I think I know who you're talking about. Was it the guy that was like, "Oh, I'm proud to be a Texan" or whatever?
No, it wasn't that, but that
No.
was
That guy was a
absolutely
great one.
that was embarrassing for sure.
You guys want a fun
It-
fact?
Yo,
I was friends
like
with him
fun.
at one point. Kind of.
No way.
Kind
Oh,
of.
look, we all have had terrible
Dude,
friends that
like,
we didn't know.
one of my good friends, like my really good friends in IRL, her and I, I kind of dragged her into the furry community. I'm gonna be real. But so, she was doing her own thing, and she ended up talking to that person, and they were like getting along great, and everything was fine. So I started talking to them, and we were all just kind of vibing, and then they got really fucking political all of a sudden, and both my friend and I were like, "Whoa." And so we distance ourselves from them. So seeing him pop up like years later being like, "I'm proud to be a Texan," da da da, like that was just a shock.
And then you quickly saw, you looked at the bio, and then you looked at a couple more takes, and you realized how quickly, again, kind of said, I don't know if this is in the interview, but like in the last 6 or so plus years, how empowered these racist, bigots, awful people are about just
Yeah.
letting their opinions fly. Because it used to be like if you say that shit, people are gonna shake their head at you and frown.
Yeah.
At the minimum, you may get smacked for it. And now it's like fucking like there's people running around with swastikas now, and that's not being like they're not getting assaulted. Like I don't remember a time in this. No, I think I think growing up like that would have got you in trouble. You would have been hurt.
Yeah.
So like,
And here's my I don't know if this is a theory, but like part of me always wonders, was it always like that? or was that just like my privilege? Because like,
True. Well, I mean, I grew up in a really rural white neighborhood where
yeah,
if
I did
anywhere
too,
this
and
would
they
have been
also
where you would have been more likely to see that enabled versus like shut down, right?
Yeah.
they always told you that like racism was over in what 1968. I can't fucking remember
Oh
when,
Oh,
god.
but
when they're like, oh, racism stopped when we, made
Oh god.
everything
Just
but
like
like,
women
but I
equal
mean,
when they got voting rights, yeah.
but
Yeah,
that like
yeah.
that's what we were taught, and I think 2020, a lot of people like even I was thinking some stupid shit in 2019 until
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I remember seeing something that said we've had 2 sitting presidents who didn't go to segregated schools. Not sitting, but like we've had 2 presidents that didn't go to segregated schools. Like
yeah,
this shit was not that long ago. There's
right.
pictures there's
But
pictures
they
of
tell
MLK
they
and
act
Rosa
like
Parks in color.
right.
Well,
Like
yeah, I actually think that's something that is heavily. That's why it's like kind of swept under the rug. Is like, y'all realize like it wasn't 100 years ago that a lot of this shit was like going down.
yeah.
Like, there are still people alive, plenty
Yeah.
of people alive today that dealt with this shit, and
Yeah.
that's why it's always been really annoying to hear like, oh well, it's over. You know, everybody's equal. And I was like, no, no.
No, no, no,
Maybe
no.
for your white ass. Sorry.
Right.
Maybe
Anyway,
you. Yeah.
sorry, what
Uh,
were you going to say?
don't remember if it was Ruby.
Oh.
I don't remember either.
I don't remember either. That's great. Yo, this is your first moment where we forget what we're talking about.
Yeah,
You were here for it.
pride, baby.
If that doesn't get us a like or a subscribe.
Shut up. That was last week. That was last week.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
last week.
no,
Oh,
We're
no,
not
this
bringing
week
that
is
back.
nobody told me
that,
the memo.
that's no. Last week, every time we told a joke. This week, it's every time we forget what we're saying. Put that on the spreadsheet, Misha.
Spreadsheet. Damn it, Misha.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, today's sponsor.
Oh, today's sponsor.
Oh, I hear this a lot. Which which pride flag is the worst?
Anything that includes a fake sexuality, and I'm gonna include the whole like bestiality shit or the
Yeah.
minor.
No,
I don't think
no.
those count though.
Yeah,
They don't
no.
count.
I am not even bringing like that is something that I won't even justify that with
Giving in
the
that conversation.
with the debate.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
I just
not
wanted to
even
clarify. I wanted to clarify because if we're like if that is being allowed, then obviously those.
Yeah.
Anything
No,
that
that-
I feel
includes
like
that. Shit.
that's like when furries like immediately you're like, by the way, it's not a sex thing. Everybody heard was so it's a sex thing.
sex
Oh,
thing,
it's a
yeah.
sex.
Worst pride flag. Well, it's not the zoophile pride flag. I don't even acknowledge that when
Yeah.
the fucking response.
Sweet.
Quick disclaimer before we answer this question. We're not, if we say your pride flag, we're not shitting on your sexuality or gender. We think they could have done a better job designing the flag.
Well, I was
Yes,
gonna
Yeah,
say
yeah, yeah.
honestly,
this is purely an aesthetic choice because
Yes.
as a gay, we often make poor aesthetic choices.
well, contrary to what the media was saying for many years. No, I was actually gonna say like I don't know enough of the pride flags to make maybe a just like a judgment or say.
Well, then the one
Uh,
ones you do know. Here, I'll share some with you, and because I know them all so intimately because when I do the pride pause like draw them, the the pride flags that come up here like quiz time, gay quiz time. Okay, both of you.
Oh, boy.
What does this pride flag mean? There you go.
I assume indigenous.
That's what I'm assuming.
Yes, this is the Two Spirits pride flag. It means you're queer and Two Spirits pride flag. I was gonna
Okay,
say
cool.
and, but then I was like, I don't want to say anything that I'm not 100% sure of. So I'm. Here's
Yeah,
another.
Okay.
That's why I was like, I want to stay away
found
from
one.
stuff I don't know.
I found
Here's-
one.
Here's one.
I like them all. They're all colorful and cool.
That's
Right.
bullshit, and you know why?
You know, because I can say that.
I feel like
Well,
you're about to
Misha,
post the one
you-
I'm thinking of. Go ahead and
You
post it.
also have to say this
No,
right
no,
now. My persona
you
is
next,
black
Misha.
and white, by the way, so I can say that.
Misha, go ahead, post.
I was
your
gonna
Every
say,
one of
I
these,
Oh, I don't have it like saved, but the polyamory pride flag is kind of
Yes,
rough in
I
my
was
opinion.
gonna
Yep,
say.
yeah.
All right, wait, where is it?
It's
Where is
it
it?
looks
Where
more
is
like
it?
a
Yeah, I'm getting
country's
it. I'm getting
flag
it.
than it does a pride
Wait.
flag.
Okay.
Oh
So
wait, that's the one with the pie flag. The
Yeah,
pie
that's the one with the pie symbol.
I see
Yes.
that, and I was just like, yeah, that's a weird one. That's a
yeah,
Okay.
weird choice, I
I
think.
did not. I did not like this flag as much until I found out its meanings, and then I thought it was so sweet.
Oh, okay.
However, um, yeah, aesthetically, it's not very.
yeah. It's kind of
It's
rough.
not very pretty. So hang on, let me read the original meanings because it's very sweet actually.
Yeah,
Um,
In
meanings
'95.
Meanings behind the polyamorous pride flag. Blue represents the openness and honesty among all partners. Red represents love and passion. Black represents the solidarity with two who are forced to hide their polyamorous relationships from the outside world due to social pressures. The pi symbol is the Greek letter that makes a reference to the fact that polyamory also starts with P. The gold in the pi symbol represents the value placed on emotional attachment, not just physical attraction. This
Oh wait.
well
I
thought out
also
flag.
okay.
so I'm on the what is this called? Oh God, the Human Rights Campaign website, and they gave a little bit more to this as well. The polyamory pride flag was created by Jim Evans in 1995 for all polyamorous people. They also said the pi sign signifies because pi is theoretically endless, that there's infinite options of partners.
Yes,
Okay.
that's true. And that's actually why the
Eh,
evolution of the flag is really fascinating too. This is another flag, polyamory. Somebody tried to take the
Oh,
same colors, the same meanings, but just update the design a little bit.
I kind of
okay.
And
like that one.
The
the
infinity symbol is nice.
Yeah, right. The infinity, which is a little more aesthetic than the pie, at least in those opinions. Oh, I guess people didn't like this one too. This is the newest one I've seen, which I do like this one too. But I like the infinity symbol. I like what it
Yeah,
means. I
yeah.
think it's
Yeah,
cute.
yeah.
This is the newest one.
Buzz Lightyear, infinity and beyond. Yeah.
Right, infinity polyamory, infinity and beyond. Oh, guys, that's your new slogan.
Yeah, I don't like this one as much.
I don't either.
This is apparently the newest one. Correct me if
Okay.
I'm wrong.
The gold heart for I mean it makes
The gold
sense.
heart's cute.
But it's missing the infinity part.
The heart apparently is also an infinity symbol because it's like that loop.
I
But
guess that makes sense, but I guess
this
I
is
think you lose a
also
little bit of that meaning. I personally think, which I don't think the pi symbol is a good looking symbol anyways. So I do agree that aesthetically the flag suffers for that.
this
But
is
after
also a
the
poly
meaning, it's
flag.
amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
that one. I'm looking at that one too. That was next on
mm,
my list.
But
thank you.
this does not mean polyamorous. It means polysexual.
What's the
Okay,
difference,
I
Ruby?
don't. Well, no, I assume there's a difference.
Yeah, yeah. I assume there is as well. But what is the difference? Is it like polyamory means you have multiple partners, like relationship wise, and polysexual is like you
Oh, let's.
sleep with more than one person, usually open really. I don't know. What's the
I
difference?
I could see that. Like,
Oh, I see. But you can
what
educate
does
us if you like.
polysexual mean? A polysexual person is someone who is sexually and or romantically attracted to multiple genders. This is not the same thing as being bisexual or pansexual, although all of the sexualities involved being attracted to more than one gender. It is also not the same thing as being polyamorous.
Yeah. So basically, the thing that it says is basically you have multiple genders, but not all genders.
Okay. I always thought
And
of bi and pan, the difference being like bisexual, you know, the partner's gender like plays a factor, where pansexual you're just kind of down for whatever. Cause like when
that's
Yeah.
I
how I see it
when I
too.
identified as bisexual, I was with a girl,
Mhm.
and which is ironic because now they're non-binary, so but
Oh
so
shit.
I was with a at the time girl, or someone who identified as a girl, and I was open, but I only was open to like men, you know. um
Oh, okay. Yeah.
so that's why I identified as bisexual, because I had no interest in, pursuing or sleeping with other women, which turns out I was gay the whole time. But
You were
um
gay and you both didn't even know.
right. But yeah, that was always how I thought of bisexual and pansexual being different, was like bisexual, the gender plays a role.
That's actually how I've always seen it too. Like, it does not mean, unlike what a few people have said, like bisexual is transphobic. No, I think it
No.
just means, yeah, I think it means you're attracted to more than one gender. I love that the counter argument is bi only means two genders. People who are being transphobic, but then people are like, well, bilingual only means two languages.
I saw that. Yeah.
Well, I think that's the point too of the way it's used is some people do say, well, bi means two genders means I am only attracted to those specific genders, and then they try and exclude anybody that's trans. Whereas the people that accept trans people wouldn't argue that, like, obviously, like, if you're a trans woman, you're not going to be like, well, they don't count as a woman. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's
Yeah.
just on bisexual, you're a woman. They don't see it any
If
differently.
you're a transphobe, just get out of the LGBT community.
Yeah, get
You,
the
like,
fuck
Yeah.
out. Why are you listening
Tired
to
of
this
that
podcast?
bullshit.
Get out of here.
If you're
if
listening,
you
to this
if you drop the T, then drop the act. Get the fuck away from me.
podcast-
Okay,
So,
okay. Quiz time again. Quiz
Uh-oh.
time
Oh
again.
boy. All right,
What
last one,
is
and then we should move on to the topic.
all right? What is
Yeah.
this flag?
Ooh.
You guys are bad gays.
Ugh.
I'm not bad. Okay, that's gonna come into what we're gonna talk about later for a reason.
Uh.
This is a tool that will help us next time or later.
Can we have a hint?
I don't even like labels, Ruby.
This is it's just for fun.
No, I'm saying I don't even like labels. Why the fuck would I know flags?
So some flags, like
Oh.
demisexual, omnisexual, this flag ends in sexuality. So this is a flag that represents a sexuality.
Oh, I was gonna say demigirl, but that's a gender. Okay.
Yep.
Oh man. All of a sudden, all of the sexualities just do not exist anymore. I can't think of any.
That's really funny that you say that because that applies to this flag. I'll give you one more hint.
Asexual? No.
It's similar to the bicolors, is it not?
Well, no.
By gender?
I
No,
don't
you
know
said it
the-
was sexuality. I don't know.
All right. Okay. This
Yeah.
was a really hard one. Most people don't get this. I do have to give you one more after this.
Oh
then.
wait, that is
Yeah,
the bi
fuck.
one.
This is omnisexual.
Oh.
Attracted to those of all gender identities and sexual orientations. Omnisexual is a category of multisexuality, which includes people who are attracted to more than one gender. I think omnisexual is frequently used in tandem with this flag. Not like in tandem, like they don't use it interchangeably or anything, but I see people who identify as omnisexual also either have a partner that identifies this way or they identify this way themselves.
Oh, okay.
And this flag is.
Oh, is this the next quiz? Oh fuck. Fuck.
This is the next quiz.
Oh no.
Oh. I was waiting for the that was the.
I was
rumble.
too. I was waiting for.
There's no like, bing, you got a message.
Is this one gender?
This is
it
gender
by
fluid.
gender? Oh.
Oh, gender fluid.
This
Okay.
is the gender fluid.
I was
flag.
saying when you were explaining the omnisexual, I was like, that sounds like you're talking about that a little bit. That's why when you said tandem, I was like, oh, okay. Also, by the way, if Misha's like fucking editing this, I'm sorry. You have to stop what you're doing and add all these images.
No, it's fine. The flags are gonna stay on there for a good while, so like it won't be too rough.
I'm posting them here in order.
Yeah.
It'll make it easier for editing.
What if I nuke the
No.
Misha's like, die. Son.
I was looking at another flag, and this I guess lead into my own sexuality story.
There we go. Good segue. That segue deserves a like and subscribe.
Yeah.
That's right.
We didn't forget.
Shit, I forgot what I was talking about.
The other flag about your sexual that reminds you.
You did this. You did this to me. So it was last year that I found out that this flag. First, I'm gonna quiz you guys. What is this flag? Yes. It is,
okay.
It's demisexual specifically, but I didn't realize that this flag fell under the asexuals. That this identity fell under the
Me neither.
Okay,
because I was out this year actually that I was ace because of my demisexuality.
Because I was gonna say like the colors looked familiar, but they were like in a different order. Because like I know about the ace flag, and that was my first thought, but okay.
Yeah, this is the demisexual flag, which this is how I personally identify, and it took me a long time to even accept that because when I was first introduced to demisexuality, it was on Tumblr in the most horribly
Oh boy.
pretentious. Do you remember this post?
No, I don't.
Oh my god, it was so awful. It was this kid, obviously, and they started a whole hubbub where they were like, demisexuals are the only true romantics left.
Oh, wait.
Everyone else is horny and nobody understands me. Even asexuals don't understand me because they don't experience attraction at all. But I am so in love with my partner and I don't even look at other people. Like, it was horrible.
Yeah.
And for a long time, this sexuality, at least in my spheres, mostly on Tumblr, um, had like a bad rap for being pretentious. Like, shut up, you're just pansexual, but you are monogamous or something like that. So for the longest time, I kind of like looked the other way at this sexuality. Like, no, that's not me. I'm not pretentious.
Kind of a very similar thing is actually why I questioned my demisexuality for a long time, actually. Because I was kind of more or less described that when you're demisexual, you're only getting sexual attraction towards somebody that you have like a deep, like emotional connection. Like, you're gonna marry this person. Like, super, super, like, super, super deep. And I think it's more of a spectrum because I'm definitely more of like, I don't really see sexual attraction when it comes to like, I don't do one night stands and I don't
Yeah.
do and like even like light friends and stuff like that, I won't see sexual attraction to it, especially not strangers. But like my closer friends, I do find myself kind of doing the little finger thing, the two fingers together, like ooh woo.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? The finger
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. You know, the two finger pointing towards each other thing.
Got it. Okay.
Little, yeah.
Yeah.
And uh, so to me, I was like, am I actually demisexual or am I like just traumatized and I I feel like I have to like feel like they're a romantic partner or somebody close. I wasn't sure, and then I think as time kind of went on, I've learned. But yeah, at the time, I was like, oh god, I can't be demisexual.
I kind of
Uh,
agree with what Solus was saying. Not that like I was gonna disagree on your sexuality, but like when you say
Yeah.
like I wouldn't do one night stands either. Sorry, everyone that likes Rascal. I wouldn't do one night stands either to where like I at least need to
our
know.
whole fan base just dropped by
I
half. Misha.
know.
Oh yeah, you just killed
I
our viewers.
felt the view count go down.
Yeah.
But no, like where it's like I would at least need to know the person beforehand. Like we don't have to be super close, but like we have to at least talk and know each other, you know?
But see, I think most people do feel that way. I don't think most people are going to be the type to stick your dick in a glory hole. If you are that way, congrats. You're way more sexually open than me. But I
Yeah.
think most people like need some sort of emotional connection,
I was
even
gonna
a
say,
small one first.
I was gonna say, me and Ruby had this conversation because I agree that most people don't just go in willy nilly like glory hole.
Willy
Willy
nilly.
nilly. Okay, you thought of
Yeah,
it too.
yeah.
Go in
Wink.
willy nilly.
Oh, I I said what I said for a reason. But
That was a great joke. Please like and subscribe.
No.
if your name's Willie, I'm sorry.
Oh no. Oh, imagine a dude
By
named
God, if your
Willy
name's Nilly.
and a
Actually,
girl named Nilly.
oh shit. My God,
Um,
what if you named your children that? Hey Willie.
Willy,
God
hey
damn,
Nilly.
it's probably out there,
Sorry,
folks.
fucking tangent. Like,
Anyway, yeah.
but yeah, but I think I don't know, but I definitely know friends that definitely went to parties, got drunk, and hooked up with a random chick that they met at the party. So like, was there an emotional connection? I don't think so. They were at a party, they thought each other was attractive, and they fucked. That's
No,
it.
see, yeah, I disagree. I don't think they just fucked because, typically human attraction, according to the science that we have right now, they say that you know if you're gonna sleep with somebody 3 seconds after meeting them. This is kind of a
What?
ridiculous, yeah,
What?
this is kind of a ridiculous sentiment to me, right?
Hmm.
Because nobody thinks I'm gonna bone that guy. But there is something to be said about like the possibility is either here nor there in those first 3 seconds. So do I think those people without saying anything fell into each other in the bathroom? No, I think they played the little game that is flirting with somebody, and I think that counts as the like knowing someone, because I've met people that I know exactly who they are in like 3 minutes.
Fair enough. Because
Um,
there are people that I become super close friends with super quickly. And then there's people that even though they're really nice, I just never establish a close friendship with. And it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
It's not like they're a bad person or anything. It's just I just don't have that vibe, that connection. And
Yeah.
I can't explain why.
Like
Like they're a very nice person, but
with
I'm
like
not gonna be your close friend. Sorry, go ahead.
with being a content creator means I talk to other content creators, and like I don't jive with all of them. Like there's some of them I just really don't like. And like I'm not like a dick to them. I'll, we treat each other cordial, but like
your peers,
yeah,
right?
we're
Yeah.
peers. We're both doing our own thing, but like I'm not going to go out of my way to like chat with them or, hang out with them. Sometimes people just don't click.
I do not have sexual attraction. I can count on the number, like on my hand, the number of times I've been sexually attracted to somebody. When all of my friends were like giggling about like teehee, like what if like you were talking about Solus, like
Yeah.
you have this like attraction to your friends. I thought we were all joking, but no, it was like it was real enough for it was like unless, and I was like, unless what? Like it like never even occurred to me. When I'm single, I don't do anything sexual. I am very asexual when I'm single, but when I'm in a relationship, it's
Light switch.
It's go time.
it's like a weird
Ruby
light
is a
switch.
light
Yeah.
switch. They would even
Um
say you get turned on.
oh my fucking
Da, da,
god.
da, 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 da.
It's super weird. I don't
I'm
love
here
it.
all week.
I feel like I'm missing something that some of my friends aren't getting or
So
something. I don't
I,
know.
I think that's a great segue into just fully kind of going into the topic of this thing.
We are
This
44 minutes
episode.
into the recording.
This the
I
topic
was
of this
talking
is
about my queer experience. I
which
got
is right.
there.
Which yeah, you can definitely. That's why I want you to continue. But it's
More pride flags.
the we're gonna talk about our own like what pride means to us individually, so y'all can get to know us better, which Ruby has done a really good job of kind of delving into that. And so I kind of wanted to segue, so we are 100% on this topic from here on out. No more pride flags, no more pride flags in my pride. I'm sorry.
Pride
No,
flags are canceled.
but yeah, please, Ruby, if you want to talk about
I already did.
more.
One of you go.
Well,
I
no, I
gotta.
didn't know if you had some thoughts or some other things you would like to bring up, talk about, or finish up. But yeah,
Oh, we can always segue. So
this
like,
is a segue.
Anyway, my
uh,
turn. My sexual.
Hey, I guess
go
it's
ahead.
Misha's turn. Oh God, that means I'm last. I'm gonna
I
have to live up
am
to
fucking gay. Um,
fucking gay.
I came out 2 years, like roughly a year and a half ago as gay. Before that, I identified as bi. And like, it's weird because now that I have hindsight, like now that I know I'm gay, you look back on things from your past and you're like, huh,
Oh God. Oh,
that
it makes.
was a sign. Cause like, I remember in 5th grade, there was a kid named Benjamin. Him and I were friends. I always felt weird around Ben. Like I always had that
Yeah.
fluttery feeling around Ben. Um, Looking back, I probably had like a little bit of a kid crush on Ben. It was funny because like I met him again recently. He worked at a bar that I went
Oh
to,
shit.
and I was like, "Oh shit, hey, what's up?" And actually, Misha's middle name is Benjamin. It's not because of that person specifically. I feel like that'd be really weird. It's just Ben is like one of my favorite guy names.
If it was, oh, that's really cute and it's really gay.
Yeah, no, it's not because of that one Benjamin. It's just a name I
Oh.
really like. Yeah, just like all throughout there were like multiple signs. I think my real like super duper gay awakening was college sophomore year.
Super duper gay awakening.
Yes, the uber gay awakening.
The ultra gay.
The queer panic, if you will. Fucking I was roommates with one of my friends. Like we both played saxophone. All three of us did actually that lived in that apartment. But like him and I got really close. And it
Are
was
you
like
straight or were you a band kid?
yeah, right, honestly. Like him and I got really close and then we got like too close. And I thought things were going on and like my brain was like, just holy, why do I feel this way about him? Like why, and then confessed feelings. He didn't feel the same way. He's straight. And so got over that finally. But that like stuck with me, you know, where it was like, am I as straight as I say I am? And I even like at that time I confessed to him and another person who was my friend at the time but isn't anymore. I was like, guys, I think I might be gay. And they were like, no, you're not gay. It turns out we were all wrong about that. But and so a couple more years
You're just
pass, and like
experimenting, yeah.
with being a music major,
Mhm.
you know, all of your classes are 1 credit. I promise this matters. So each quarter I had like 9 or 10 classes on top of full-time work, on top of just ensembles and everything. So I didn't have time to really think about myself or my sexuality. I just took it day by day and, you know, existed. And then COVID happened. And all of my concerts were canceled, got fired from my job, and just school went online. And I suddenly had much more time to myself, and obviously I ended up getting a job again. And that was around the time I started YouTube, so that gave me something to do. And then it was just like, you know, I had more time to think about myself, and I had more time to think about what I was attracted to and who I was as a person, and realized I was gay, and looked all at my past and all of these different attractions I've had, and came to that conclusion and have been proudly out and gay since then.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations, Misha.
Thank you.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Congrats, you're
I
gay.
also like that when you asked your friends, like, "Hey, I might be gay." I like how they were like, "Nah,
Nah, bro.
That is such an like. I feel like Gen Z or like you know like kids today, if you're like, "I might be gay," they're like, "Maybe." Like,
Yeah, right.
Weird like kind of, I don't say tangent, but like I didn't really talk to my friends about it as much as like, so the same time I came out with when I say came out, it's weird when this is a whole nother discussion we can have about furry, but I told my mom about being a furry. And she came over one day and I decided I was gonna show off my fursuit head and everything and just like let her know. And we had this long conversation, it was cool, it was chill, and I always felt like I could tell my mom anything. So in one of those things, you know, she just said, you know, as long as you live your life and you're happy, I don't care. And I said, yeah, even
Aw.
if I was gay, I was like, even if I was gay, I wouldn't be afraid to tell you. And she's like, oh, and I would still love you, honey, you know. But she's like, but I've watched you grow up, and I know that you like women. And then in my head, I'm like,
What?
oh my god, you don't know. I think I've been with more non-women.
Oh no.
I was just like, oop, I'm just gonna not say that out
Yeah.
loud right now.
I was in such denial that I had been with more women. I guess I shouldn't say been because not all of them were like explicitly sexual, but
Right.
I had been with more women than I had men, and I was still like, nah, I'm straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was something happened. I was like, oh, is this are you good, Misha? Do you want to talk a little bit more, or
Oh, I'm good.
is this segueing into
I
kind
I
of
was
how?
I was the kid who was fucking bullied in high school. It was so bad. So I thought I
Oh.
was straight. I very conservative parents. I grew up in a
Mhm.
very conservative place. I had this one friend of mine, and I was so like, I don't know, stupid. She had two moms, but she had a mom and her aunt, but they were her two moms. That's just what she called her other mom, her aunt.
Okay.
And I like did not register that relationship as many times as I'd go over to their house and stuff. Even to this day, looking back, I'm like, God, they were gay. Ruby, what's wrong with you? I was like, two women living together, being best friends. Love it.
I love it.
I was so in the closet in my own head, but then two, so bullied about it. Even the teachers bullied me about it, and my
What?
friend, who, because she was my best friend. We'd always hang out until one day I was like, maybe I should ask out a girl and find out, because we do the fake gay shit all the time. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Valentine's Day, I'll get you a bunch of roses and you get me a bunch of roses, and it'll be so funny and ironic. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
we did that shit all the time. So I finally officially asked her out in a Wendy's. I was eating a box of
Let's
popcorn shrimp,
go. Dude,
Wait,
shout out to
you asked
Wendy's.
out your girl crush in a Wendy's?
and she said no.
Oh.
Oh,
And
your first rejection from a girl in Wendy's.
and then years later, she was like, I totally regret saying no to you that
Oh
one day.
no.
And I was like,
Oh.
fuck. This was even when I was with Andy. She's like years later, and I'm with Andy, and I really wanted a fucking Apple Watch because they had just installed a Pokemon Go app, and Andy was gonna buy me one for my birthday or something, and she sent me one.
Oh.
I still have that Apple Watch. They don't
Oh
have that app
man.
anymore though.
But that's like slapping a ring on that finger.
We're still friends.
That's good.
Yeah, that's cute.
But then like even then, it took me so long to, and then to this day, I still feel like I have imposter syndrome as a gay.
Oh.
Me too.
What?
It's weird.
Well, so I was actually going to say this when Misha, you talked about it, and now Ruby, you're talking about, but that was like the biggest thing I wanted to bring up about what pride means to me, because I'm a really bad gay, like you said, or like a queer, because like I don't know if it's my upbringing, the toxic masculinity, the rural conservative upbringing, all of these things, but like I just don't feel like I belong, even though I'm clearly like I'm pandemisexual, pandemic. And so like I'm absolutely a part of the community, but I'm like, what do you mean I'm queer? It's like I can't get my brain to think like I am. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but I have that massive imposter syndrome. And like it's like, no, you're not.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's
no, I am.
so weird.
And
Oh, go ahead.
I just think it just all I don't know why, but I have the biggest trouble like figuring that stuff out and getting myself to almost even admit it to myself. And I just wonder if that is the trauma from like back in the days, like being a kid. Like, yeah, if you called me gay or the F slur, like those are like recess on the grounds fighting kind of shit. I've actually thrown punches back when I was like probably 8, 9, 10, something like that, at some kid because obviously there was some beef like well beforehand, but they threw out the F word and it was such a slur. It was such like a bad insult. It was like, all right, we're going, and we start swinging at each other. And I don't know if it's because of that toxicity where it's like my brain's just like, no, you're not a queer. You're not a queer. It's like, but
I mean, yeah, but
I am
also
queer.
that's kind of a shitty name to call somebody like with venom,
Oh,
you know. So
absolutely.
I don't think it was entirely yourself being in
Dude, the
denial, but
90s and
like,
early 2000s are.
oh, dude. But yeah, I get what
Yeah,
you
It was
mean.
a different time,
It
man.
it
was.
was a different time, and I'm glad I survived it. Is what I'm gonna say, and come out the way I have.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure it's still rough, but like holy shit,
Yeah,
when people like pretend that shit
Oh my god.
didn't happen, it's fucking
yeah.
crazy.
And like, back to the imposter syndrome thing. Sometimes like,
Google is older than gay rights.
oh my god, I know.
Or maybe I said that backwards.
Gay rights are older than Google.
Uh,
True.
we had Google before we had same-sex marriage.
Yeah,
That's what I was
same-sex
trying to
marriage
say.
Oh,
was only like
recent.
2014 or 15, right?
I was it in high school? I can't remember.
I
I
was in
remember
high
it being
school.
it was like late high school. I'm 31 now, so
I'm
it might have been I
26.
might have been in college at that point. So
I don't
June 2015.
I was
that
definitely at that point. Oh yeah.
I
So
was
yeah.
just about to graduate high school when gay marriage got legalized. I remember my friend at the time, Tommy, when him and I, it's weird that I remember this vividly, but him and I were in a Sears when we read the fucking headline. And I remember him just being like, oh, well, that's terrible. Why did they get to da da da? And I was like, well, it doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect us.
Right. No
Little did I
shit.
know it
Right.
would affect me, but like, I was like, oh, it doesn't affect us. Like, why do you care? Yeah, he's unfriended me since I came out. So, anyway,
Well, that's why he cares.
imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just like my brain. I'll be chilling, and my brain's like, hey, "You're not actually gay. You're faking it." It's like, whoa, what?
Oh, that's great.
Dude, what? What do you mean? I feel like
Oh,
that falls under the internal hatred, cause like
I agree. That's a
when
big
I
thing.
first came to terms
What are
with
they?
it.
There's a word for that, like internalized homophobia. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
that.
it was like when I first came to terms with the fact that I'm gay. Like there was a period where I just hated myself, and I was like,
Ouch.
why am I like this? Why
Dude, totally
why can't I
same.
just because yeah my roommate and I were in a really long time relationship, um and came out as gay, which means we can't really be together anymore. um
Yeah.
and so my brain was just like, You know, you ruined everything. Why are you like this? And it was just like a period of just hating myself. But now we're doing a little better now. But sometimes I still get
That's
that
good.
intrusive thought that's like, you're faking this and you ruined everything for a fake. And it's like, whoa, wait, what? I
Yeah.
don't
It's
know.
weird that those
Well,
thoughts even come up, man.
I am gay. I
I
love Argo. Like we're together. This is a thing. I enjoy the things we do. Stop. You
So I
know?
was gonna ask if this is something that else that you kind of deal with. I don't know if it translates just between me and you, or if it's just my demi side. But like one of the biggest things where my brain's like you're fake is like I can objectively, and that's why I have to remind myself I can objectively recognize when somebody's like attractive.
Oh yeah.
But I it's like gaslighting myself into being like, obviously, like it being like AFAB, or and I'll be like, oh my god, they're so pretty, and then it's like, wait, you're demi, you're not supposed to be able to like recognize, be attracted to like physical stuff, and I'm like, god damn it. It's like a
You know.
weird like thought in
Yeah.
my head where it's like, no, I don't, like, you can still like objectively understand
Yeah. It'd
attractiveness.
be
It's
like you find them attractive, but if they came up to you and were like, have sex with me right now, it'd be like, whoa, you know.
and that's exactly what I have to like tell myself to break
Yeah.
myself out of that thinking. Is like, but would you? No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, like them
Like when
being
people tell you
attractive.
like if you could have sex with any celebrity, I'm like
I have no
I
answer for that.
I
I
don't
would not
either.
I would not do that.
I think it's not me. I don't care. But people are like, oh my god, I'd be so down for Markiplier, and I'm like,
Or like I would suck
Okay, wait
Johnny
a minute.
Depp's dick right now.
I think Markiplier's the outlier. Markiplier's the
well,
exception to the rule.
No.
Misha, Misha wants that mustache.
Have you heard his deep voice, dude? Oh.
Yes, I know who.
Have you heard
Markiplier
him
is.
sing? He sings so well.
Yeah, I caught him in concert twice.
See, this is Misha being gay, not demisexual.
Oh fuck,
Which
you're right.
By the way, you absolutely 100% just unlocked a memory that I remember watching Markiplier play an acoustic guitar and sing to us at a concert when he did
Really?
his tour. Yeah,
Oh, that's cute.
before the tour started, it was the test tour. I think I was in Indiana. It
Hmm.
was cool.
Yeah, that's
But
really
yeah,
cool.
yeah, imposter syndrome sucks, and I hate it. And it makes me. It's not every day by any means, but there's times where it's just like you're not what you think you are. Or you're faking it, be it intentional or not.
I hear
And
this a lot
then
in
I
the
have to
bi
like break.
community. I hear this a lot in the bi community
Mm.
where when or especially like married couples, when you happen to be in a straight passing relationship, that the imposter syndrome like fucking sucks.
Mm.
And I definitely feel that all the time because I'm in a straight passing
Yeah.
relationship. I'm like, I want to go to a pride parade, and then it's like, oh, should I even be here? Am I taking
Yeah.
up space that someone else needs? There
Oh
is a
my
check.
god.
There is like a check your privilege moment where you have to recognize that like I do have straight passing privilege. I can go on a date with Andy and not worry about like bigotry because everyone just
Yeah.
assumes
True,
we're cis and
true.
straight.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make me any less queer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's actually a really good thing to point out is like you don't think about that, but yes, if you are in that kind of passing relationship, you do have a little bit of an advantage there, but in general, you as you were saying like when people say, "Well, no, Ruby, you are straight. You're with Andy." It's like, "No, because if I wasn't with Andy, I wouldn't be." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, just
Yeah.
because I'm with a
Sucks.
specific person doesn't suddenly decide what I am.
Sucks for you guys because once I transition, it makes Andy gay.
Oh
Let's
no.
go.
The old switcheroo.
the
Oh,
old, the old
real
switcheroo.
transitioning the old switcheroo. Love it. So we've been talking about the like what pride means to us, and we've kind of talked about our own like experiences and stuff. But when I was on Twitter earlier this week, even and maybe even last week, I can't remember. A post came up and said, "If you're part of the pride community, what was like that first inciting moment of like, oh shit, you're a part of the community? Like the first like non-straight thing that made you realize that you weren't straight, or at least made you question." And I'll start with it was just simply I was really close friends with my with one of my buddies down the street. We had gotten a hold of some alcohol when we shouldn't have,
Oh.
and we did some experimenting one night because I think the little bit of inhibitions were gone, or the those barriers were kind of
Mm-hmm.
loosened or gone, and after that, uh this is kind of like we were talking about looking back in hindsight. This is one of those moments where I also realized like I wouldn't have done it with any other guy because
Yeah.
or like because it was a friend. It was like a really close friend. I never like felt like I was in love with him, but like I was close enough to where I was like secure in trying that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that was that moment, and then I had the whole mental crisis. Like it was like, oh god, am I gay? If I'm gay, my parents are gonna disown me. Oh my god, everything's gonna go to hell. Because this was like high school, like late
Yeah.
mid to late high school. So it was definitely in those formative years of like, and that's like scary.
Yeah, yeah. I almost kissed a guy in high school.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
We like talked about it. We agreed that we were gonna do it, and then we just didn't.
Oh.
It was like he was openly gay. And then we just like we never ended up doing it, but like that stuck with me where I was like, well, I kind of want to kiss a guy, like, you know. And I think that was the first like official moment. Like there was the thing with, you know, Ben all the way back in 5th grade, but I didn't know. But like this was the first moment where I was like, wait a second. I also had a Nintendo DSi with internet access, and that did not help. Do not discover your sexuality through that. Yup, do not do that.
Wait, a Nintendo with internet access?
Yeah, the DSi had internet.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't allowed to use those, but why was that a bad way to discover your sexuality? I want to hear this story.
I looked up, you know, the porn of the gay variety.
The first porn I ever saw was that, you know, that doesn't count yaoi in high school because they don't show dicks in yaoi.
Oh, okay.
They don't?
It's like no, it's like blurred out. It's like
Oh,
like
okay.
Oh, okay.
It's like white magic in like yaoi. There's like puffs of anyway. But the first like gay porn I ever saw was Dog's Days of Summer by Blotch.
Oh,
Dog Days of Summer. That sounds
self-report.
familiar.
Anybody that knows, I absolutely know.
I don't know.
Out yourself.
Oh, do you guys know? There was like a animation called Backdoor Labrador. I haven't seen it. It's a like fucking Beastars NSFW thing. Anyway, I haven't seen it, but
Backdoor Labrador.
Yeah, it was
Beastars NFW.
It was fucking. I guess it's.
I can
Jack
hear
and
all of our
Legoshi.
viewers hacking away.
No, but I made a TikTok because the animation starts with like the saxophone riff, and I made a TikTok and I was like, haha, learned this cute little riff. Don't know where it's from as a joke. And way more people recognized it than I thought they would. And I was like, oh god, oh fuck. God. Now I look like a weirdo. I was like,
gosh, the live
I genuinely haven't seen this. The live journal.
I think it's more self-reporting at that point, because if they know, they know.
Dog Days of Summer has an official website.
It's so you could read it because back in the day, so that I cannot get it for some reason, but here's page 1. Back in the day, they uploaded Blotch uploaded like the first 5 pages on their Blotch account, and then you had to go to LiveJournal to read the rest because people would vote on what happened next.
I've seen this like posted somewhere. I haven't
you may
read
have seen
this.
The characters.
Yeah.
So every single page people voted on what happened next, and there's actually a really cute sentiment in the back.
Posted 16 years ago. Holy shit.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's old school.
It's old school. It's hand drawn with Copic. This comic inspired me to get Copic markers. I was like, oh my god, I want to draw that.
Oh, I got you.
So then I got a bunch of Copic markers. Like any amount of money I got, new Copic marker. I want every single Copic marker. I need them all. What would watercolors have been cheaper? Yes. I don't know why I didn't go down that route. I definitely wish I had.
So, really quick, can you like what was your like little inciting incident of like, oh, I'm not straight? Was it that like those feelings for the girl at Wendy's? Like, was it something else? Was somebody else? I was gonna say that, Misha. Yeah. What's your Ruby? What was your?
I don't know.
I'm not straight.
It was all confusing because I don't think I had this moment of realizing I'm not straight because I always felt like I was forcing myself into both situations. I felt
Oh.
like I forced myself to ask that girl out. I feel like I forced myself to like be in love, and in every single relationship I had, it was just like, "Oh, this is how it's." I could tell I wasn't experiencing the same thing my friends were, or like I was never in love, I was never attracted, I didn't want to kiss
Mm.
anybody, I didn't want to
What
uh
society in the movie showed you were not what you were feeling.
but then I had a moment where I actually felt that. It was about like, I don't know. It was one of my ex-boyfriends, and I was like, "Oh my god, like it's possible for me to get those feelings. Awesome." So then I thought I was straight um because the first time that was with a guy, but then I also kind of realized like I'm not exactly cis either, but then I didn't want to accept that I was just a gay guy because you're just projecting. You're not a gay guy, you're just a straight girl. That's so stupid. Of course you're not gay.
Mm.
And then it's like a slow journey. It's why I like you, Solus. I don't like labels because I don't think it's fair for us to tell people where they are at on their journey.
Mhm.
It's one of the reasons I want to discuss this while we were talking about Pride, because allies at Pride has always been really contentious. Because when people say like not no allies at Pride, but like allies sit down, I get what they're saying. I really do. Because yeah, if you're straight, if you're straight passing, you've been allowed to have a normal life since forever. You see straight couples in movies, you see all like this isn't about you being oppressed, which is, a big part of Pride. It's about us being oppressed. But back in the day, in high school, we started the Gay Straight Alliance, and this girl started it, and she was gay, and all of my friends joined, and we were all straight, so we thought. So it was just one gay girl and like 15 straight people. Like it was an official club at school. We were all very proud of ourselves, but that's how I got to like ease my way into queer spaces. I was like, "Oh,
Mhm.
well,
Okay.
I'm not a gay person, but I'm a really big ally because in my own brain, I wasn't allowed to be gay cuz
Mhm.
my
Yeah.
parents told me I wasn't allowed to be gay. I told me I wasn't allowed to be gay. The first girl I asked out said you're not gay."
Oh no.
And she had two moms. She must know, right?
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah, right?
So I was like, well, I guess I'll just be like a really cool ally. But if I hadn't had like, I don't know, that little bit of cushion room, there's no way I think I would have been able to. And then furry, of course, but furry's pretty fucking gay.
A little
Oh,
bit, yeah.
I kind of want to go with what you said there. It's like people like if you're happy with a label and you like something describes you, that's great. I think the concept is that labels aren't permanent, right? Like it should be as more like kind of like you're on a slider. It can move around. You could find more self like your sexuality could change over time. You could just find out stuff more about yourself down the line. And I just don't think people should be so quick to judge and or be like, "Oh man, you gotta have a label."
Yeah.
Um, and then like again, when it comes to like you're talking about with allies, it's like allies are amazing. You need allies. Hopefully down the line, there's no such thing as like in the quotations of like you said, like having to have a pride flag and all these things. Because hopefully down the line, it's just accepted that people are people, and who they like and who they go to bed with is and who they marry, or spend the rest of their life with is just whatever, you know.
Right.
Hmm.
But it is important to recognize because that's the end goal, right? We want that. All
Yeah.
of us want and understand that sexuality and gender is a spectrum, and the goal is that this bullshit of that this bullshit doesn't matter anymore. But
Right.
I think it's also important to address the reason we like needed that in the first place, because back in the 90s I feel like you were allowed to be three types of gay only. You were allowed to be a flamboyant gay man, you were allowed to be a bisexual woman, but only if she had a hot girlfriend, and
Yeah.
only if like you could sex the straight out of her.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
you were allowed to be a butch lesbian, but only because, bless their hearts, butch lesbians refuse to not be acknowledged.
Right, right. I feel like they that was their terms.
But they're no, I disagree. It wasn't
Oh,
their terms because they were often ridiculed and
well,
mocked,
true.
and like they refused to not in my opinion, not be seen in media, but it was never in a good light.
Okay, I feel that. Yeah.
At least the gay man, he was always your gay best friend, or he was really good at art, or he was really good in theater, or he was really good at like shopping, and he would be like, "You go, girl." Like that was the stereotypical gay man
Yeah.
that appeared in like 90s media.
Yeah.
Oh,
But if you were a lesbian, you either were a beautiful lesbian who turned out to be bi because the male protagonist ended up having sex with you, and you steal her away from the quintessential butch lesbian who only got knocked down. Like that's
Yeah.
misogyny.
you know what? Yeah.
They refused to not be
Wow.
seen, but they were never seen like positively. And I think
Yeah.
I think that's where, in my opinion, like the flags thing even comes from. Because at first, I also think it's where a lot of like gay guys going, ew, vaginas came from. Because way back in the day, way back in the day when I was a
Yeah.
kid,
Yeah. 30,
um
40 years ago.
how old do you think I am?
No. It
Not
happened
even
40 years ago. Okay.
no, not even like 10 years ago, but like
Yeah.
you weren't allowed to, well, fuck, now see I forgot what I was saying, which means
You need
like
to
and
like and
subscribe.
subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
In order for someone just to believe that you were interested in men, you had to be like, no, I don't like vagina, which
Oh. Okay.
because
Yeah.
straight people couldn't accept that, like, so bisexuals, that wasn't even a thing. If you were a bisexual, you'd pick a side, I remember, is what people
Oh
would
yeah.
say.
Oh yeah, I remember
Oh
that.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, people.
isn't it weird because like you're saying, it's like bisexual pick a side, but it's like if you were gay, they would be like, well, but you're probably just bi. You just haven't found the right woman. Same thing with the vice versa. It's like, oh, I'm a lesbian or I'm bi as a girl. Oh, you just haven't found the right man
Oh
yet.
my
Or
god.
oh my god, you see, and you still see it today in some spaces, even just on
I
Twitter. But you're talking about you haven't had the right dick or
dude, I
something
feel
like that,
such
and you're
second
just like,
I feel
oh,
such secondhand embarrassment from being a guy whenever I hear about men doing that, where they're like, "Oh,
oh,
you just haven't found the right man," and it's
you
like,
haven't.
even if
Sorry.
that's the case, it's not fucking you.
So
Like,
I was just saying,
Yeah,
it's like,
well, it's
oh,
definitely not you.
yeah,
it's like, oh, you haven't been with me. It's like, oh, yeah, and we're never gonna.
yeah,
It's
Guess
like,
I'll be gay forever.
right.
thanks for just making that decision for me.
But that's where I think a lot of these identities came from. Like it would push into this, like you had to convince straight people that you existed, and then you had to justify it to them. Like, uh, I know I'm gay. I promise I hate vagina. Even though, like, poor guys back in the day, maybe they were interested in women, but heaven forbid you're bi. Nope, that's not a real thing. Or where you had masculine gay men who were just normal dudes who liked, who wasn't the quintessential gay. Like
Mhm.
people didn't believe you then. They're like, well, a hole's a hole. That's another thing people fucking said all the
Oh
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then heaven forbid you were trans. You didn't have a fucking hope or prayer.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could be a drag queen sometimes, maybe, but you would just have to be a super flamboyant gay guy, and that was like your only option if you were a trans woman.
I have kind of a silly story about my
Let's hear it.
boyfriend. So, speaking of like gay men, my boyfriend is like very straight passing, I guess is how you would put it, where like you can't really tell he's gay. And like, there is no like way to tell if people are gay, but you know what I mean, right? Where it's like,
Is he a furry?
yeah, he's a
Yeah.
furry,
Oh
but
yeah.
like
Ah, he's gay.
that's his one red flag. But like,
It's his one rainbow flag.
yeah. So like whenever he talks and everything, he sounds, usual guy. And then like we were on a Discord call. This was I think we were dating at this point. And I just remember like he was talking to the person behind the counter on this call, and the person like suggested a product, and Argo just goes, "Ooh." And I was like, that was a bit fruity. Like that was the first moment where I was like, "Oh yeah, this guy hella gay."
Oh, that's great.
It's
Like
just
that mannerism.
yeah, he's just like, "Ooh."
Incredible.
It was so funny.
Oh
I
my god,
also
Andy put on a fucking tank top the other day. I bought him the Pride shirt, the one that says like Pride Month, and it like
Oh, you got the
transitions
Pride
to
you
Demon
bought
one?
it?
Yes,
Yeah, that's
I did. I
amazing.
bought it.
Let's
I found the
go.
original artist and I bought it from them. He put on my tank top just to see if it would fit because it turns out the shirt didn't fit him.
Mhm.
And I was like, Andy, you look so gay. But like not for the like just the fit was so gay.
Oh,
Yeah.
like the tight top?
It was like
Yeah.
a tight little top. And he was like, I should take it off. I'm like, no.
No.
No, please.
I had a
That's-
comment on my YouTube like a year or two
Oh.
ago where they were like, "Oh, I'm glad I found a furry who doesn't sound gay." And it's like, buddy, I got news for you.
Misha, you sound pretty gay.
Do
I
I?
was gonna say,
You definitely have a gay
If
sounding
you-
voice.
That's yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I would say that it's not like, and I hate to say this, but it's like I don't know if it's the stereotype, but the gay lisp that you hear, like you were talking about, like flamboyantly gay. That
Oh.
has that. Oh my God, guys! Like I
Yeah.
don't like making that voice because it's a problem. But
No, I love that voice. I
but-
thrive in it.
well, right, but like it's typically attributed to gay men, right? And so I think that's where they were going for, because maybe they just happened to watch a bunch of furry content creators that have more of that kind of, I guess, stereotypical sound to their
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
I'd
Versus
say
yours isn't like, you're not like that, I guess.
Not like super.
Your voice is a little
flamboyant.
bit more straight passing.
A.
nah, your voice is pretty gay.
Oh fuck.
I'm gonna rate it a solid 7, 1 out of 10.
A 7? Damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna give
That's-
it 7.
See,
but, like,
what do you mean it's straight passing?
7's closer than 5, not 10.
No, 10 is
What?
gay.
Anyway,
being
on that
white guys.
bombshell.
How do I sound? Would I sound gay?
I
Sound
think
like
it's
Ruby.
it's kind of like the same thing where it's like I feel like it's the fact that you like stretch out your consonants or like your syllables. I think that's where it's like the gay sound, quote
The
unquote.
gay sound. I feel like I
Or it's
speak
like,
to
how
kind
do
of a
I
low
sound?
octave.
How do I sound?
How do I sound?
All right, before we get
All right,
canceled
we're
for all
rating
doing
it, yeah.
stereotypical gay
Yeah.
voices.
Oh god. Yeah, as
Yeah.
gays we're allowed to
Misha's actually so
Okay.
what's happening right now is Misha's looking at the timer going, guys, this is gonna be way too long of an episode to edit.
We're up to a minute 23 right now, so.
a minute 23? We
Oh,
better
sorry,
get more
hour
on.
23. Shut up. You know
hour
what I
23.
meant.
It's okay. There's a bunch to cut off at the beginning. There's a cold open, and then you gotta edit everything
Yeah.
else. But I was gonna say I had a little bit of a like a little bit of an outro this time. It's just like
Alright.
we can all say this, from our hearts to everyone else who's listening. Happy Pride Month. I know it's over now, like the last day, but hope you had a great month. You feel represented and loved and supported. And I don't
No
know if you guys want to
matter-
say anything else.
No matter your identities or where you're at in your journey, or if you're out yet, or if you're not, or if you're still questioning, all that good fucking cliche shit. We love that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like,
Okay.
I know, especially this year with like the US and everything, things have gotten
Yeah.
a little sketchy and a little
This
hard.
has been the most transphobic I've ever seen.
Yeah. Just
Queer phobia.
remember that no matter what happens, be unapologetically you, whether that's to yourself or to select people or even just out in the open, be who you are. And just remember that you're loved. Even if it's like, you don't see it very often every single day, or like you're in a really bad spot, just remember there are people out there who love you, and there are people out there who want you to stay around, So
Trans rights are human rights. and
trans
there's-
rights are absolutely human rights.
Yes.
Even if it's not
Absolutely.
safe for you to come out, there are always tiny little ways to express yourself. And we see you. Like,
We
There-
see
it's-
you,
yeah.
we hear you, we love you.
Very well said. Absolutely.
A.
Hey.
All right.
My mama just called me. I gotta go.
All right.
Mama.
All right. Bye,
Mama.
everyone. See you next week.
Bye. See you.
Bye.
Ruby just leaves.
Oh no, Ruby actually left.
Yeah, no, Ruby just dipped.
All right, guys. This has been Bark Bark Meow. We will see you next week. Bye.